Conversion? What are you talking about conversion? You and I walking together, Jew and Gentile, studying the words of Yeshua in the original language, history, and context. It doesn't get any better. That led to 518. Now I'm going to calm down and let you share with them what you shared with me in 518. Thank you for the personal privilege. Thank you for listening. This guy is a blessing. I believe you're a copper ingot.
I'm a copper ingot.
Preservation, baby.
I'm a tongue of copper.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Matthew 5:18. Let me read it in the Hebrew.
Yes.
He said, and here we have some slight differences between the manuscripts. And let's see, do we have any major ones here? They're not really major. There's some, pretty minor things here. So he says, "Be'emet ani omer lachem," in emet, in truth, I say to you, ki od od shamayim is one version, but ad sheyamushu shamayim va'aretz, until the heavens and earth are removed. Ot achat unukuda achat lo tivutal, or titbatel in some, mehatorah or menevi'im, shakol yitkayem. In truth, I say to you that until the heavens and earth are removed, one ot, one letter, unikuda achat, and one dot will not be canceled from the Torah or the prophets, for all will yitkayem, will be fulfilled, or literally will be preserved, will stand.
Preservation.
Wow.
Why would I get so excited about that? One, you said to me back then, this is years ago, you said, Keith, in the Hebrew Gospel of Matthew, it has these two words.
Yeah.
And that's why you actually sent me this original.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see it for myself.
Photocopy the original.
But photocopy of the original. I'm sorry, photocopy of the original. But why were those two words such a big deal?
So in Hebrew, the consonants are written as a series of, as 22 letters. And then we have a series of dots and dashes, which are called nikudot, or nikud, which means dots, or pointing, dotting. And those dots provide the vowels. It's actually not just the vowels. It's things that in Hebrew we call vowels. I mean, we call them nikudot, dots. But they're things that are beyond vowels. Like, for example, the difference between a sheen and a seen is whether the dot's on the right side of the letter or the left side of the letter. Whether something has... whether the letter is pronounced b or v, or k or ch, and that applies to 6 specific letters. If they have a dot, they have a hard sound. If they don't have a dot, they have a soft sound. So that's not technically a vowel, but it's part of the nikud or the nikudot system, the dot system. It's called dots. So when you read this in Hebrew, ot achat, and look, dots could be anything. But when you hear about ot, which is letter, alongside dot, well, that's the dot system. That's the vowels. So really, this should be translated, literally, it's one letter and one dot will not be canceled from the Torah or the prophets, but that means one letter or one vowel.
Somebody's got to challenge this. Nehemiah.
They should challenge us.
Yeshua speaking way back in the 1st century. There were no Masoretes, Nehemiah. Are you saying? Are you saying that? Are you saying that Yeshua's reading the Masoretic text that's got vowel markers? What are you saying?
Well, I guess we need to define what the Masoretic text is for those who don't know.
Absolutely.
And it could mean different things in different contexts. So the text that we have of the Bible in Hebrew, that is the Tanakh, the Old Testament, is called, the standard text is the Masoretic text. Comes from the word Masorah. Masorah means transmission. In other words, in English you'll say, or I guess it's not English, it's Latin, the Textus Receptus, right? The received text. The Masorah is the transmitted text.
Yes.
And that is the standard text. It doesn't matter if you open up your BHS Bible over there, printed by Germans in Stuttgart, or you open up the Jerusalem Crown, printed in Jerusalem, Israel. Every one of those texts will be 99.999% identical. They'll be identical in the consonants, the vowels, and the accents. There will be slight differences here and there that if you're an expert, you can identify. Some of those have to do with the name, but there'll be slight, it doesn't matter. Any text from, basically, that's been printed from 1524, when they made the Second Great Rabbinical Bible, up until today is going to be virtually identical. And in fact, if you open up any manuscript from that was written by hand, going back at least 1,000 years, it'll be nearly identical. And that's called the Masoretic text. Now, one of the features of the Masoretic text is there is this obsession, and it's, I think, correct to call it an obsession, with every little feature of the text.
Yes.
And what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. So, and how are we doing on time here? Wow.
Good. No. It's okay. It's okay.
No, I don't even. There's so much depth to this. So let me give you an example. There are a number of places in the Tanakh, in the Masoretic text.
Yes.
And let me back up. When we say the Masoretic text, this is as opposed to the non-Masoretic text. The non-Masoretic text would be, for example, some of the manuscripts found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. I did a teaching on this, an interview I did with the top expert in the world, Professor Emmanuel Tove, called The Bible of the Dead Sea Scrolls or something like that. And so he has this category he calls QSP Plus, which is Qumran Scribal Practices Plus. And there you have, for example, first 1Q Isaiah 8, 1Q Isaiah A, the first Isaiah scroll from Qumran, is not a Masoretic manuscript. It has major differences from the Masoretic text. And what do I mean by major? It's not that major, right? But it's differences in the details.
Yes.
And sometimes it's differences even in the level of words, and in some occasions, like when you get to Jeremiah, it could be like very significant differences. But most of it is differences of what we call orthography. And what do I mean by orthography? So the rabbis had this idea that they started out with this: God doesn't waste our time, and God doesn't just speak the way we speak. When I speak, I can repeat myself, and I say and ooh, or if I'm speaking Hebrew, I say I want to tell you. So the Jewish approach, and especially the rabbinical approach, was that every single letter had significance.
Yes.
And to the point where there were rabbis who elaborated entire homilies, entire explanations of whether a word was spelled one way or another. And let me try to give an example of this. So in English, we have words that can be spelled multiple ways.
Yes.
And that depends whether you're American or you're British. So let's say, an example I love is the word color. C-O-L-O-R in America, and in England they say C-O-L-O-U-R.